Hi there friends! Today I'm going to share with you a wonderful person I met virtually online through her YouTube channel. I watched all of her videos within a weekend and was totally addicted. So I signed up for her free 7-day course. Then I signed up for her actual course and I learned a ton. I got wonderfully organized in many areas of my house, and if I need to tackle a room again, I pull out my binder and all of the contents that she gave me. Her name is Alejandra and she's at alejandra.tv. But now I'm going to do a video response to her wonderful binders organization for your owner's manuals, warranties, and that kind of, big ticket receipts and such. So I watched her video and I mimicked what she did. Here's what I came up with. Well, I've come into my dining room. I use the table in here quite a bit because we don't really use it daily, and I can spread out projects. So this project has actually been on my dining room table for a few days in anticipation of my reward time for getting some other things done. I've got my printer on hold because the yellow cartridge is leaking, so it's smearing my title pages. Have to go buy a yellow cartridge. I have all my supplies, so I've gone to Staples. I got the gusseted binder pockets. They did not have clear. I even went to customer service and asked if they could order the clear, and they just don't seem to have them at my Staples. So I picked out what they did have, which was 6 navy blue, 6 turquoise, and 9 purple. Or maybe I got the numbers wrong, but anyway, 6 and 6 and 9 of 3 different colors, and they'll work. I'm okay with that. I got some clear tape for my label maker, which is the P-Touch Brother brand. It takes the TZ tapes, which is this tape, and I did not have clear, so I went and bought a clear tape, which is black on clear. This is the exact same label maker that Alejandra uses, and I love it. I've had 2 other label makers, and this one's my favorite so far. I picked up some tabs. These are Post-it tabs, and I got 2 packs, not knowing how much I would need or use or want to do other binders with. I picked up 2 of the Better binders by Staples. One is a 3-inch, which will be for my household goods, and one is the 2-inch, which will be for my permanent home stuff. So what I did have owner's manuals kind of already in a good system. I used a hanging filing folder. One was a wider expandable hanging file, and the other one was just a folder hanging file. But I'm trying to reduce the hanging file storage in my office to make room for other things. So that's why I'm converting to this system. So I've kind of spread things out. I also had a binder, I should say. It was just a black binder, and I did use the sheet protectors that were single page protectors like Alejandra talks about in her video, which I will link below in the description box. But in the case of some things that had little booklets, this is a Bose mobile headset, and it has some extra accessories and a thicker book. These things did not stay in flat. They would constantly slide to the top of the binder and fall out. So I really liked her system, and that's why I'm adopting it here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started by, I've separated things on the table into categories, and I'm going to go ahead and start loading my binders and printing the labels and adding things to the pockets, and then adding the tabs. So I'll show you a few steps at a time. What I learned from this process is that you should probably wait to make your binder covers after you've made your piles and your sets. I've got 2 piles here of different categories, and I just took a regular little post-it note and marked what I want to make my label say. And during this process, I realized that the categories for the binder titles that Alejandra used in her process were different from mine. I have no intentions of moving from this house, so I don't have anything to leave for the next homeowners. They would probably find such items in my homeowners manuals binders, either one of them. The household goods kind of falls into that category, and then I have a whole binder full of electronics, and that's the bigger binder, the 3-inch. So I'll just go through my categories real quick before I make my labels. I've got office, which is the thickest binder that I have. That's everything in my office, not including software, packaging, and serial numbers and that kind of thing. It's just like my office chair, my surge protector, and other components I use in there. Then I have TV related. It would be TVs, VCRs, hardware. Then I have phones. This one's going to be obsolete. As of yesterday, I discontinued our landline phone, which has been my home phone number in this house for 40 years. Yeah, it's a new day, it's a new age, so we're turning exclusively mobile. Then I have radios. These are boom boxes, iPhones, anything radio connected, related rather. And these are other electronics. For now, I just have dehumidifiers, vaporizers, humidifiers, things like that. And so those are all going to go into my household goods binder because they don't fit in the electronics category. So in this in the electronics binder, I'm going to have lighting. This is installed lighting in the house, as well as lamps and other not stationary lighting. I have furniture. This includes mattresses, things that we've bought and had to assemble and that kind of thing. Shoes, I do have a couple pair of exclusive shoes where if we wanted to replace them or buy more. I have the contact information. Massage, I was a certified licensed massage therapist, so I have my table in here and other items that I would use in my massage practice. And this sticker fell off. It's actually things that would be used outdoors. This includes tents, lanterns, walkie-talkie thingies. I don't know what you call this. I guess walkie-talkies. Two-way radio. Okay. Our grill outside, things like that. Bikes. Products. Yeah, that's good. This, I know what this means is things that won't fit into any other category, and they're not necessarily electronics. I'll probably move this over to the household goods. This would be specific purses. I have a palette for art supplies that's Stay Wet palette. I also have some porcelain baskets and artwork kinds of things. So I'm going to move that over to my household goods binder. This one is jewelry, not including expensive real jewelry. This is more like custom jewelry. I buy a lot at art shows, and I want to make sure I have that contact information. And then beauty, this only has one item in it. It's a hairdryer, but I know I've got a lot of stuff in my bathroom which I've kept with the products, so I'm going to pull those and actually stick them in here as well. So I'm going to go make my labels now. Before I make my labels, I wanted to add that I just switched out the binders. I find that I have more household goods than I do electronics. So I took the 3-inch for the household goods, the smaller one for the electronics. And I did want to mention that I did come across some items that don't fall into those categories, or I'd like to put them somewhere else. In addition, this is a great binder system for things that you're planning to sell. We have some boxes on the floor over there of items that we're going to be listing to sell, and we have the original owner's manuals for almost all of that stuff, and that's because I've kept it all, I've saved it all. So this is going to work fantastically when you're ready to sell something and you want to get the original manuscripts, manuals, and warranties and all that information together to sell with the product. That way the new owner has all that information. Now I'm going to go make my labels. The first thing is print options. Go into margin and switch it over to narrow. Okay. And then I'm going to put it on, yeah, Helsinki is the one I like. And I'm going to put the all caps on, which is indicated here. That way everything is symmetrical. Then, let me type some words in. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to do what I call chain printing. I've typed in my first label is going to be other, for other electronics. And then I'm going to hit spacebar 3 times. 1, 2, 3. That moves the cursor down. And my next label is radios. So I'm going to type in radios. And then I'm going to space 3 times. 1, 2, 3. This way, it's all going to print out as one label. If I were to just print one word at a time, it would give me a wide margin on each end of the word and waste a lot of tape. This way, if I do 1 or 2 spaces in between each word, then I can save tape. It won't print as much. So my next label is going to be phones. And let me finish this and I'll show you how it prints out. Okay, I've typed all the label names in for one binder and I'm going to hit print. And it's going to print out a consecutive label that's going to be very, very long with all of the label names for the one binder. And see how much tape is wasted on the end here? If I were going to print each one separately, in other words, type a word, hit print, type the next word, hit print, then this much wasted tape would be used per label. And see, because I put narrow margin on it initially, then I've only got this much wasted tape after the last label. So that's just a tip to save you some moolah when you're printing. So on to the next binder. So here I've used my little nippers to cut the labels apart, and this is the only wasted tape that I've had to cut off. I'm going to put them in order on my tabs, and then I've also put these files in order with the one that I'm going to probably retrieve most frequently first. So my office products is going to be the first one. The last one is just products or other electronics. So this one I will retrieve least frequently. That way you don't put as much stress on the binder itself by opening and closing it a lot. I'll just reach in most of the time, open the binder, and retrieve the top packet. Okay, here's my first finished binder. It's the 3-inch. I don't have the spine label on yet, but I wanted to show you all the pretty tabs, and it's so clear, and I know exactly where to go to find things. It is quite thick, but mostly it's because of my office binder in there. Everything is like Alejandra said, it all moves very cleanly, and you know, it's pretty. And I can't help it. I'm a girl and we like pretty things. So I can just go through here, easily find things. Now my husband would say this is kind of like overkill, but I don't think it is. I always tell people being organized is all about retrieval. If it takes you longer than 3 seconds to put your hands on something, then you're not very organized. If you don't know where it is, you need to rethink your system. But I just love this. It looks great, it's clean, and I'm excited to work on the next one. Okay, this is my second binder, and it's got more tabs than the last binder does, but they still fit very well because there's not as much in them. I did leave some of the page protectors on the things that I inserted, and that's only because there was more than one item and I didn't want to use paper clips, so I just stuffed them in there. I may change my mind if I find that that's not working, because you always want to work on revising your systems if you find that they're is something that's inhibiting you from using them and taking advantage of the process. So let me show you the finished products. I've got one binder, owner's manuals for electronics, and the second binder, owner's manuals for household goods. And look how pretty! Now, of course, you're not going to see all of this when you're seeing them on the shelf. You will see the spines like that. However, I think it's a great system. I love that Alejandra uses color and makes everything clean looking, simple, streamlined, efficient. I will talk about her program later with some FaceTime, and I'm just going to continue this process of trying to get order in my house. Well, there you have it, my rendition of Alejandra's sorting, filing, and containing owner's manuals and other documents that you might need to retrieve at a later time. I certainly love the way it looks. I love the way it functions. I've already pulled other brochures and owner's manuals that I need to keep from other areas of the house to be placed in those two binders, and I'm loving the idea that it's easy and efficient. So go check out Alejandra's site, and thanks for watching this video. Comment, subscribe, and rate. Thanks again. Bye.